Welcome back YouTube for another performance psychology video here. Today we're going to be touching up on the topic of how to properly follow your trading plan. Now I usually do this on Sundays, but I'm going to probably be doing a little bit more throughout the week for you guys. I know a lot of people have been wanting a little bit more of these videos, so we're going to be coming out with a little bit more for you guys. So again, today we're going to be touching up on how to properly follow your trading plan. But before we go into this, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a quote by Mark Douglas, one of my favorite quotes. It says, if you can learn to create a state of mind that is not affected by the market's behavior, then the struggle will cease to exist. So definitely a good quote there. Again, it says, if you can learn to create a state of mind that is not affected by the market's behavior, the struggle will cease to exist. Alrighty, so let's get into it, guys. Again, how to properly follow your trading plan. Now, we're going to be going over a couple things today, maybe about 5 topics we're going to be touching up on today, which is going to be, of course, the trading plan, social pressures, lifestyle choices, your diet, and also self-talk. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off with the trading plan. Of course, you're going to need some type of plan you can trust. Now, markets, they don't really have rules to follow. But does that mean that you don't have rules? No, 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 of course not. You have to have some set of rules to follow. Now, of course, in my story, in my experience, I honestly didn't like rules in the beginning, which led me down a path of self-sabotage and emotional destruction. And of course, I blew out accounts even before I stepped into Trade Pro because I didn't have a specific set of rules that I had applied to my trading plan, right? But later on down the line, as my journey progressed, I realized that there needed to be some set of rules that I had to keep me in place and to highlight some of my bad habits. So again, you're going to need some type of plan that has some rules that kind of follow along with that, right? Now here, you need experience to develop a plan, and you need a plan to get experience. I know that's kind of a double-edged sword here, but you're going to need a plan that covers all scenarios. That way you can focus on your rules, right? So you're going to need a plan that covers scenarios for bull markets, for bear markets, for sideways markets, for failure trades. You're going to need some type of plan that covers that. That way you can focus on the rules that get you into your actual trade or the criteria itself. Now, another double-edged sword is the fact that you can create a trading plan, but that doesn't necessarily mean you trust that trading plan. Now, I know a lot of you probably can relate to this. I definitely can. But the trust is built up over a period of consistently applying the rules and seeing the rules produce positive results. That's why it takes a little bit of time, and that's why it seems like some type of double-edged sword when you say you need the experience to develop the plan and you need the plan to get the experience. It's because in order to trust that plan, that trust has to be built up over you consistently applying the rules and seeing those rules produce the positive results. That's what's going to build the confidence as well. That again, that confidence is what you're going to need. It's that oxygen that traders need as they trade. All right, let's get into the second one here, guys. Social pressure. This is one I think is pretty important here. Now, most people will do whatever it takes to avoid embarrassing themselves or looking like a fool in front of someone they care about, right? Which is the key here, right? If you understand that, then you want to have that someone or that person to hold you accountable for your actions, whether it be once a day, once a week, once a month. You want them to check in with you, or you at least want to have you want to check in with them to make sure you're following your plan. In this case, I think the more is, the more here is better. The more people you have pressuring you, the more you will want to do the right thing, right? So if you have a group of people, that are your friends that pressure you, right, or at least tell you what you're doing wrong, what I mean? And they could do it in a funny way, where they make you feel that pressure, make you feel embarrassed. It's going to make you want to do something better, right? And I think that's a very key tip. It doesn't necessarily have to be friends. It could be some type of mentor, right? A lot of people who grow quicker are people who have those mentors or those coaches that keep them in line. Those accountability partners, that they can come to, and they can say, oh, I did this, this, and this. And that accountability partner can say, okay, why didn't you follow your plan this way? What took you off track, right? They can keep them accountable and keep them on that right track. The next one is going to be your lifestyle choices. Now here I think is important too. You're going to make the lifestyle choices to be dedicated during the few hours that you are deciding to trade, right? That has to be a key thing. Whatever else you have going on outside needs to be put in order before you come to work. And again, this has got to be treated like a job. So just like any job, you need to put aside whatever you got going on, or you need to put whatever you got going on outside of work in order before you get there, or it's going to directly affect your ability to do your job correctly, right? In this case, a lot of times if you're arguing with somebody, if you got a lot of stressful things on your mind, it directly affects your ability to make the right decisions when you're trading, right? So a lot of times you end up trading emotionally, which spirals, into a downward spiral of other emotional trades, revenge trading, and it can really hurt your development as a trader. And it can really hurt your trades for that day. So again, whatever you have going on outside of this job, of your trading job, you want to make sure you put that in order before you open up the charts and place the trades, right? The fourth one here is going to be your diet. Now, I know this is not the best of topics to touch up on here. A lot of people don't really like to go into this, so we're going to kind of briefly touch up on it. But I think, honestly, maybe an evening routine combined with a good breakfast, things that will make you alert in the morning, is going to be a very effective way to do this. And also plan the night before you trade. Get a good healthy 8 hours of sleep, or at least a good amount of sleep. It will definitely make a difference in your ability to focus in the morning. And placing your levels, key thing, key tip, placing your levels and plan the night before will help you to set the stage in the morning. When you wake up, you open up your charts, you look at your levels, and you can decide to make a few adjustments from there. But you're basically training your mind, and when you open up the charts, you're going to be able to see how the market reacted to those levels, and you can develop, some adjustments from there based on how you think the market's going to react if they're around the same levels, or you have to develop new levels based off where the market price action currently is at. Right? All right, and the fifth and last thing here is going to be your self-talk. We as people respond best to positive reinforcement. So the way you speak to yourself is going to make it a lot easier or harder for you to follow your plan. Again, pay close attention to this. The way you speak to yourself is going to make it a lot easier or harder for you to follow your plan. So pay close attention to how you speak to yourself each day. Highlight them. Keep a journal of this so you can see exactly how positive or negative you speak to yourself and make the adjustments. Now this, of course, won't be easy, but it will be worth it if you make it a habit, because you will become aware of what you're saying to yourself. You'll become aware of how you might be sabotaging yourself, how you might not be following your plan based off of how you're talking to yourself, and you adjusting that, and changing that will cause a habit to form, a good habit, right? And you'll be able to become aware of what you're saying to yourself and change it immediately, right? So that you can learn to trust your plan, right? A lot of times, and trust your rules, because a lot of times it's our own self-talk that pulls us away from following a process, right? Following those rules, right? Even when you see that those rules end up leading to great results, you end up talking yourself out of it, right? And so you want to be able to identify that. So keep some type of journal that will help you see the positive and negative self-talk that you speak to yourself and make the adjustments needed. But all right, guys, that is going to be the end of this one here, how to properly follow your trading plan. Hopefully you guys like that. If you guys did like that, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you guys are already subscribed, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate you all. And I will get to you guys, or I get another video out for you guys coming Sunday here for the performance psychology videos. You guys take care. Have a great day.